Hey, how was your day? It's funny how none of this is surprising and yet it's still very numbing. Okay, let's go over what happened in the last 24 hours, but more importantly, what you can do about it so you don't feel so hopeless and powerless crying alone in your shower. Is that not a universal experience? Wait, first we need to go over a few key points that we have discussed at length before, so I know you remember them, but I feel like they will give you some solace in these dark, dark times. Number one, this is all chaos theory. What's that game in middle school that we did where you throw the balls at people and they have to catch them? Why can I not think of this sport? What's happening here? They made a movie after it. Oh my God, this is going to stay with me all day. That game where you get a bunch of things flying at you all at once and it's hard to concentrate, that's what the Republicans are doing. They know that it's going to fatigue you, it's going to wear you down, it's going to overwhelm you, it's going to depress you. That is a strategic plan. Know that. Step away when you need to. Vacuum mop your house like I did today, where I disassociated for like 20 minutes. It was great. And my floors look clean. Find something that you love to do on the side so that you're not just in this all the time. I know I keep lecturing you about that, but it's so important. Please tell me in the comments what hobbies you have picked up to deal with the end of days political apocalypse. Next, they told us all about this in Project 2025. They explained what they were going to do, so pretty much everything we've seen has been in their playbook. We know what's coming. It still sucks, it's still depressing, but we know it's coming. 3, they're going to break the law. Like a lot. And they know that. They're going to do as much as they can to grab power and test the waters. I said, to me, it's a lot like having a toddler, a sassy toddler. If you've ever parented one, you know you have to be on watch 24/7 because they don't respect personal boundaries. They're going to keep coming for you no matter what. Because eventually they know they're going to wear you down and they're going to find a way in. This is no different. He's going to do illegal stuff. Expect that. But know that there are a lot of great groups that are going to counteract that. Organizations and groups of lawyers like Democracy Forward that are going to file suit on your behalf, which is awesome and very comforting because they know the Constitution, they know the law, and they know exactly how to deal with this. And so you don't have to. Great. So what can you do? We'll go topic by topic. Trump put a freeze on federal grants. Most of these were discretionary funding, which initially was confusing because people weren't entirely sure what was covered and what wasn't. And we know that Republicans, Trump and co, lied to people about this because the governor of Illinois came out and said, straight face, they told us that Medicaid wouldn't be affected, and then today we couldn't access Medicaid portals. Which, by the way, shout out to the Illinois governor. I'll put his name up here because I'm forgetting it right now, but masterclass, that's exactly how you handle it. We heard from elected officials that all types of programs were being affected, like those that helped women in domestic violence situation, or unhoused students, or veterans with a suicide hotline. Meals on Wheels. When I tell you the number of people in my comments who were trying to justify why it's okay not to feed the elderly, like out loud and proud in public. Oh my God. So what's really happening here? Chaos. Chaos is what is happening here. He knows that what he's doing is against the law. He knows that Congress has the power of the purse. Per the Constitution, the executive has no business mucking around with the appropriation of funds. Congress carries the purse, not the president. Consequently, 23 states got together and said, no, we're suing you. Coincidentally, I believe they're all backed by Democratic governors. None of the Republican attorney generals wanted to step in and do this. So if you're in one of those states, call your governor. That's something you can do. Call your governor, email your governor, pressure them on social media and say how disappointed you are that they are not filing this lawsuit because it is a very clear overreach of power, one that he does not have, one that the Constitution does not grant him. It's illegal and it needs to be said. Next, we know that ICE raids are happening and have been happening all week. Here's something you can do for this. Time to put your nosy neighbors to work. You know, the ones that are always asking about loud noises they hear in their neighborhood in the group. Did anyone hear that? Those people, have them keep their eyes and ears peeled to see if they notice anything with respect to these types of people showing up and knocking on doors. Share these types of graphics out. ACLU has a bunch of guidance you can use. The more accessible this information is, the more people we can help. If they don't have an immigration lawyer they can call their consulate. Keep documenting as much as you can and posting it to sites like TikTok. It's really helpful for us to know where they are, what they look like, how they're operating. Next, Trump mandated that all the federal workers would return to work. No more remote working. You have to go back to the office. And they did this on purpose for a couple reasons. Number one, because they knew a lot of people would resign. Just willingly, a lot of people would resign. And like I said yesterday, Project 2025 talks about it extensively, how Trump couldn't succeed his first term. They blamed everything on the fact that he had too many people in office that were loyal to Obama. They blamed his own inefficiencies and inadequacies on Obama. This time, they're going to take all those people out and they're going to put in Trump loyalists. they're going to cheat. The most effective way to do this is to get people who are currently in office to leave. That way they can impose things like this, loyalty tests, where they specifically ask how loyal you are to MAGA and what made you become a MAGA enthusiast. And if leaving doesn't work for them, he will buy them out. Which is interesting because there's like a $27,000 pay cap on severance pay. So how he plans to do like an 8-month buyout, I don't know. People are like, oh, well, they'll just stay in office and work for 8 months. Okay, so it's just basically an extension, but it's still getting them to leave so that he can put his people in place. I know you see how that works. Also worth noting, we have money to bribe government workers, but we do not have money for federal grants and assistance. So make that math. What can you do about this? Continue contacting your reps, continue contacting your governors, continue amplifying stories on social media, especially of groups that are going to take these people to court. That's really important. We want as many people to see those groups, those specialists, the people who know what they're talking about. Those need to be elevated and amplified together. Can we make that a new word? My brain is numb. We should elevate those people. We should amplify those people. We should make sure that everybody's hearing what they have to say. But more importantly, you shouldn't freak out about this because it feels very end of days, but this is what they plan. Go back, and if you want some really heavy, awful reading, go back and read the foreword to Project 2025 where they talk about this extensively. You will see none of this is by accident. They're not pulling the rug out from under us. They told us they were going to do this. Just half the country didn't believe it, or they didn't care, or they just hated women that much. It's probably that one. Trump will continue to fire senior officials and executives, and he will do it even though it is not in his capacity to do so. It's illegal. We need to keep calling that out, that it is illegal, that he does not have these powers. We need to keep saying it out loud so people hear it, and we don't become immune and numb to the fact that he just keeps taking and taking and taking, and eventually we're like, fine. Or on the flip side, eventually they come to us with some sort of compromise, and we go, well, that's not as crazy as all the other stuff they've been doing, so okay. And that seems very on brand for the Democrats, so we need to fight that. Here's another thing you can do. They're trying to confirm this dude to Health and Human Services, and we don't want that to happen for all the reasons I've discussed in many videos. Or you can just do a cursory Google search and I'm sure it'll get you there. But you just need to contact your senators and let them know that under no circumstances should they give in and approve this person. I mean, like, if any Democrat so much as wavers over that button for yes. There's no button. I just made that up. If they so much as look at the option for selecting this man, for confirming this man, we will primary their asses so fast they won't know what hit them, or they'll be dead from a vaccine preventable illness. But either way, lastly, if I could implore you to continue with the thirst straps for Captain Von Trapp, I'm really appreciating those. I'm having a great time. It's really interactive. Okay, last, I'm going to leave you with this advice. Everything is temporary, even terrible situations, but terrible situations can get worse and be temporary. So I would like it not to get worse than it already is. If we could all work together, like, just unify and stop that madness, please. Thanks.